All right, it's Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, and apparently it's Organize Your Home Day, which feels targeted because my downloads folder is basically a haunted house. This is CoeCast. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And yes, we are absolutely counting Organize Your Home as organize your prompts, your automations, and your emotional support spreadsheets.
Facts. Also, today's episode was built end-to-end by a fully automated AI workflow, so if we randomly start talking like a toaster manual, that's just the experiment doing its thing.
Keep it in. Blemishes and all. Okay, Hunt, we have three big drops. Meituan open sourcing a massive long-cat reasoning agent model, OpenAI sliding GPT 5.2 Codex into the Responses API, and Alibaba Tongyi open sourcing a whole voice model family. It's like the Agents Everywhere starter pack.
Totally. Let's start with the one that made X act like they found a free Ferrari in the Costco parking lot. Meituan open-sourced Longcat Flash Thinking 2601, and the headline vibe is huge mixture of experts model, lower inference cost, and it's MIT licensed.
Which is suspiciously generous. Like, why is the candy free?
Yeah, the catch is usually not in the license, it's in the reality. Running something like this is still ops heavy. You're not just downloading a model, you're signing up for GPUs, serving infrastructure, eval, red teaming, and then you're on pager duty when your reasoning agent confidently invoices a customer for -$.
Wait, but people are hyped for a reason. The benchmark chatter is loud. Folks are like, it's basically perfect at math. And you know how the internet is. If it hits a high score, the comments immediately become, congrats humans, thinking is solved.
Right, and the mature take is, benchmarks are a signal, not a guarantee, especially for reasoning. You can get models that are amazing at a specific test distribution and still fall apart when a marketer hands it a messy brief with 5 contradictions and a weird brand voice requirement.
Or when it has to do reasoning on things that aren't clean math problems. Like, explain why a campaign underperformed when the tracking is broken, the creative changed mid-flight, and the CEO is mad on Slack.
Exactly. So here's my litmus test. Can the model show its work in a way that's inspectable without becoming token soup? And can you validate it with tools? For creators and marketing ops, I want it to cite sources, call your analytics API, pull the actual numbers, and then reason on top of that.
Which brings us to their heavy thinking mode. I'm sorry, that sounds like me staring at CapCut at 2 a.m. whispering, one more edit.
Same. But conceptually, iterative reasoning can be real value, like multiple passes, draft, critique, revise. The danger is chain of thought bloat where it just talks to itself forever, spends budget, and still lands on a mid-answer.
Yeah, the worst is when it's like, let's think step by step. And then it basically writes a novel about thinking, and the output is still wrong. It's like watching someone pace dramatically and then forget why they walked into the room.
So the practical difference is control. If heavy thinking mode is a switch that triggers structured iteration with checkpoints, tool use, and a stopping rule, that's useful. If it's just more tokens equals smarter, that's a revenue model.
And the real creator takeaway is, don't buy the vibes. Build a harness. Like, force it to produce a plan, then run a verifier, then produce the final. Make it earn the heavy.
Yes. Now the other Meituan tease is zigzag attention and a 1 million token context. If they actually land that, it changes certain marketing workflows.
Like what? Because my brain goes straight to, I can dump my entire Notion workspace into the prompt and ask it to fix my life.
That's the dream and also the nightmare. The good, you could feed it an entire brand Bible, campaign history, past performance reports, customer research transcripts, competitor ads, and product docs. Then you ask for a campaign strategy that's consistent with everything. You can keep a long-running agent that remembers decisions over time.
The nightmare is prompt security. Because if you're stuffing the whole company brain into context, you're also stuffing in secrets. And then someone says, make it more spicy, and suddenly you've got internal roadmap details in a TikTok script.
Exactly. Also, evaluation becomes harder. Long context makes it easier to hide mistakes. Costs can sneak up, and you need retrieval anyway, because even with giant context, you want the model to pull the right documents, not just have access to them.
So it's like, long context is not a replacement for good knowledge management. It's like giving someone a library card versus handing them every book and hoping they read the right page.
Perfect analogy. Okay, shift to OpenAI. GPT 5.2 Codex now in the Responses API. That's a big deal because it means coding agents stop being a separate product and become plumbing.
Plumbing is such a good word for it. Like, it's not a magical coding friend, it's a pipe you can run through your workflow. Which is scary because then everyone is going to automate everything with zero adult supervision.
Yep. The smartest, safe-first automation to ship is something like a code review buddy that only comments and opens draft pull requests, or a refactor agent that runs in a sandbox, writes tests first, and can't deploy.
Wait, I love that. The agent can be chaotic in a contained box, like a toddler with washable markers.
Exactly. Where it breaks in real orgs is less, it can't code, and more, long-running state, permissions, and trust. Tool calling chains fail, credentials get messy, someone forgets to scope access, and the agent can touch prod. Or the agent makes a lot of tiny changes that are individually fine, but collectively break architecture.
Also, human trust is weird. People either don't trust it at all, or they trust it like it's a deity. There's no middle. It's either, I will review every comma, or, ship it, robot.
And the real sweet spot is co-creation. Humans set intent, constraints, and taste. Agents do the grind, rename functions, migrate endpoints, update docs, fix lint, write tests, file tickets. Let it chew through the boring parts.
Speaking of chewing through boring parts, can we talk about the open voice model family from Alibaba Tongyi? Because creators are about to go feral.
Yeah. Open voice capabilities bundled together is huge. High-quality text-to-speech, short-sample voice cloning, and multimodal conversational voice variants with weights available for fine-tuning. That's a real build-your-own-voice pipeline kit.
Marketing teams are going to hear zero-shot voice cloning and immediately go, cool, I'll clone the CEO for a product update. Which, I'm sorry, is exactly how you summon a PR demon.
Right. So the first legitimate use case that won't explode is localized voiceovers where you use approved voice talent with consent and you create a controlled brand narrator, like product explainers in multiple languages, internal training videos, maybe IVR that's clearly labeled as synthetic.
Yes. And governance needs to exist before the first intern discovers the make it sound like the exec button. You need an approval process, signed consent, watermarking where possible, a no real person cloning without authorization policy, and logs. Like actual logs, not vibes.
And a who can generate what permission layer. Voice is identity. Treat it like credentials. Also, if you're a creator, label synthetic voice. People can smell deception now. The trust tax is real.
Okay, quick ecosystem pulse, because everything is happening at once. We've got these open reasoning agents pushing cheaper inference and closed API agents pushing convenience and integrations. At the same time, research is still doing wizard stuff. Stanford's WonderZoom turning one photo into an infinite explorable three-dimensional world? That's literally zoom into the flower and discover a galaxy.
That's going to hit brand storytelling. Interactive ads that aren't just video, they're experiences. And it rhymes with what we talked about recently with world models. Content that behaves more like a game than a landing page.
And then we have the funniest side of AI. That viral TikTok where ChatGPT generates a dream family for a same-sex couple, and it goes completely off the rails with robot nanny energy. That's the reminder that these models are both powerful and ridiculous.
Which is also why Organize Your Home Day matters. Organize your workflows. If you're going to add agentic models, add guardrails, add checklists, add monitoring. Otherwise, your content machine becomes a content gremlin.
Also, the orbital data center idea? The cloud in the clouds? I just need everyone to imagine AI servers as little astronauts doing compute in space, while we're down here arguing about token costs.
Honestly, if my inference bill goes down because the GPU is in orbit, I'll consider it. But then my marketing workflow depends on the weather in space.
Sorry, team. Campaign delayed. Mercury is in retrograde and the satellite overheated.
All right, last question. When open source reasoning gets cheaper and voice cloning gets easy, what job function gets agentified first?
Middle management. I'm kidding. Kind of. But seriously, QA and analytics. Because it's structured, repeatable, and you can validate. Like, check every link, verify every claim, compare metrics week over week, draft the report.
I agree. Then copywriting becomes more of a co-write. Humans lead on taste and positioning, agents generate variants, personalize, localize, and do endless A and B testing. But you still need a human editor or your brand becomes beige soup.
Beige soup is the enemy. Okay, organize your home day challenge. Organize your automations. Name your agents, scope their permissions, and please don't clone your boss.
Please don't. All right, thanks for hanging with us on KoiCast. Subscribe if you want more of the chaos, and check out koi.com/resources for AI news and updates.
Go organize your home, your prompts, and your downloads folder. Catch you later.